Hi, I'm John McNeil. Welcome to Helping Other People Evolve. Got another video for you. You ready? Do you know who you are? Do you know you? Yeah, I'm going to ask some reference questions and keep it 100. I'm going to go ahead and with some experiences, but I like to touch bases to get your brain wandering, get your brain thinking. Like, what do you really know about yourself? It's a good question. Are you going to tell someone, oh, you like red, you like blue, you like green, your favorite meal? What do you really know about yourself? In other words, have you ever really analyzed or checked into your values? Values such as family. For me, it'd be God, knowing that there are instructions in a relationship to have a belief system. But at the same time, how about just maintaining my humanity? Because my values will bring me right into my morals. And I switched them, instead of morals and values, I'm going with morals. My morals, which are very important because love, integrity, honesty, all those principles create my morals, which I'm talking about having a belief system because, I had discovered that I was running around early in my life talking about I have some respect for myself, but my respect for myself because of the things I was practicing was only really affording me to have disrespect for myself. So today in my morals, I carry some real good, or should I say dignity. Dignity creates self-respect. When my morals and my values connect, they become a team and they help develop this character and personality that allows me to be able to be with myself or in myself and allow me to maneuver and deal with life as a better me. I mean, like, there is a time in my life that I remember poverty, being a young man, not knowing much, but knowing enough that I didn't have what other people had, and it always looked like I had it worse. But poverty, it had a chokehold on me. It made me believe that sugar water and the idea of ketchup and mustard or ketchup and mayonnaise, I apologize about the mustard, but ketchup sandwiches and mayonnaise sandwiches and corned beef, was a regular meal even when, I went to other family members, and at the same time it just told me that I wasn't going to amount to anything. When holidays came, it was like, oh, everyone else had great times and mine were partially okay, but more so a suffering because, again, didn't have what I thought I was supposed to have, could not look at being grateful for what I had. So again, I joined in with many others getting smothered, or so I say drowned, by my environment. Not that my adult family members wanted me to get swallowed up by my environment, but they had no control because as you become an individual, no matter how wonderful love can be in your household, no matter how sound the guidance is, no matter how much of a road is laid out for you to be successful, you're left with the choice of choosing to walk that path. And a lot of us as human beings, we find curiosity or our own thought process that don't always match up to the road that's laid out for us. And we wind up in a way of creating someone that is not successful in the eyes of those who love us and created the roadmap. You get where I'm going? Do you really know who you are? I mean, like, can you really tell me you're in touch with yourself in the aspect of having some really clear understanding to your values as well as your morals? Because here's some more questions that I like to ask you. How do you deal with changes that come into your life without your permission? Yeah, how? How do you do that? You can always tell yourself you're going to be responsible. You even show it, but when change show up, are you impulsive? Like, do you think before you make a decision? Or are you thinking after you're in a decision that's causing you to be uncomfortable because you could have did better? Yeah, I want you to know that in my values, intelligence is of importance, but intelligence got to be more than just having knowledge in my head or from reading a book or going to school and being educated. It must empower my character. It must meet within my morals and values to strengthen me, not to be perfect, but how do I deal with changes that show up without my permission? And when I give you a great example, for many of us, we're already under a change without our permission, because when the corona that's recognized as COVID now is recognized as Delta, it has showed up. That's a great example. Change without your permission. But how do you adjust to it? There are some people who lose themselves because of what it has done. It has changed your normal routine. But those morals and values that I'm talking about should be able to be revised or added to strengthen you, especially when you're a person that's trying to have some balance. And again, do you have some substance, or are you standing on sand when water hits it? You know what that looks like. Or are you standing on concrete with a foundation? Because a foundation has to come from within to allow you to continue to be able to self-identify and know more about yourself. Now, I'm not saying success comes through conquering each one of these challenges that comes without your permission, but success comes in its own right, that you don't destroy you. Because one other question that I want to ask you, what do you do for you to show your gratitude you're alive? And I know there's some of you probably talking about, well, man, what are you talking about? Everybody has to die. But in the meantime, if life is so precious, what do you do to show your gratitude to yourself that you appreciate having life? Are you exercising? Are you changing your diet? Are you eating vitamins? Or are you putting yourself at risk and telling yourself in a state of denial that ain't nothing wrong, I'm okay? Do you get yourself checked out, like with doctors, things like that? I'm talking about paying attention to the world that we're living in. Not living in an illusion of fantasy. It used to be a TV series called Fantasy Island, but I hope you're not a part or a character living in that. This video wants you to find out, who are you? Do you know who you are? How do you deal with life as it keeps showing up? Or are you just running amok and just telling yourself this is what it's supposed to be and you just going to accept it and that's that? And I'm not talking about for us to be trying to control the world. I'm talking about being in charge and being responsible for who you are and not being lost. Because then there are times I sit in front of the television and I go through all these channels. I got plenty of them. And at the same time, there's no interest. But you know why there's no interest? Because my morals and values can't find anything mentally to connect to, because it's not really what I want to do. So sometimes it's about just sitting still away from something that can control me. Yeah, there's subliminal messages that come through these things. Listen, pay attention to who you are. Pay attention if you're trying to be somebody better. Pay attention if you've been running around being somebody that you're not. Pay attention if your trauma continues to hold you hostage, or should I say a prisoner, just like someone that's incarcerated. They're behind a facility in a building and you're within your skin, locked up because you don't have the key, or you won't grab the key that's available. And that's called using resources. But again, are you really grateful for who you are? Do you really know who you are? One more question off of my reference sheet. Do you have difficulties doing the right thing at any given time? And please don't tell me about the one if somebody dropped their wallet in the store. So I know many of you, especially the way the world is, oops, that's their loss. But there are some of you who really carry, like I talked about, my values with my morals of integrity and family and God and a good belief system. I need to get that wallet up. Listen, I found out I've been able to practice living life with some stuff and without some stuff. I remember staying in a shelter, because my house burnt down. I did nothing wrong. The house burnt down. Going into descriptions about it. At the same time, I remember that I had renter insurance, and a week before that it was due, I said, you know what, I'm going to take care of that next week, because I had another obligation connected to one of my children that was getting an education and they needed the money. And then I wound up doing that, but I didn't make it to put it back in place because the house burnt down. Long story short, I wound up in a shelter. And let me tell you, they stole my clothes. I needed an extension, all this other stuff. And I still wasn't in a way where I done something wrong. I was just trying to stand up to changes that occurred without my permission, and I didn't fold. And of course, I had plenty of help because I allowed help then. Another thing that a lot of us who are already saying that they know who they are you aware of your weaknesses as well as your strengths? Because one of my weaknesses is this: if I let you help me, are you holding a hidden motive to do something to me? Because some people always say, oh, I don't have no motive, I just want to do it. That's nonsense. Everybody carry a motive. My motive for sending these videos out is truly helping other people evolve. So that's a motive. Why? Because I want people to get out of the turmoil. Let the stronghold get away from them. I mean, find some success. And again, I didn't say success to be financially off, because so many of us are chasing that dollar. I know we all gotta eat. But at the same time, don't you want to be free within yourself? And I meant what I said. You got to have a foundation. If your morals and values aren't founded in substance, then they're going to continue to break. They're going to continue to make you not be aware of who you are. There are so many of us in this world that can be struggling, and the struggle turns into defeat because it's not a struggle. It should be training. And I'm not saying that I'm comfortable with everything that the world presents, but at the same time, I'm not going to lay down in it. I'm going to have some real integrity. I'm going to use some perseverance. I'm probably going to have to surrender like countless times. I'm going to use some commitment or renewing my commitment. You know, I want to give a closing to this. I was getting in doubt about all these videos because my initial reason and care, like I said before, was to reach out and help people. Do you know doubt kicked in as soon as my mind started focusing on the views and the numbers? Because now all of a sudden I'm getting in doubt because, oh, why the numbers aren't going? And it was taking precedent over my care because now I'm focused on this. Do you know, when I say, do you know who you are? I was able to talk to quite a few people. And I'm telling you, when you talk to people, and sometimes people are eager to help and sometimes people aren't. And I say this much, advice can be dangerous because advice comes from individuals who don't practice it. So I brought in, give me experiences. At least that way I know you walk down this road. I may not have to follow every step you follow, but I can borrow a lot of pieces that you offer and get some success to get out of this hole. So that's why I'm talking to you. Do you know who you are? Try not to be dishonest with you. I'm telling you. A lot of times we are liars, and here's how I tell you this. We lie to ourselves, which we should be more important than most people, especially when we talk about having morals and values, and then we wind up lying to other people. And then we want to justify the lie because we ignore it as it begins within ourselves. Then we become acceptable as we give it to other people. Stop doing that to you. So all these people that I did talk to, I want you to know, doubt has been removed. And I'm not going to let views and numbers stand in my way. My heart is what it is. If you are connecting and getting anything from the things that I say to you, I want to say thank you. I know that they are gifts. And I know that there have been many other people way before me and doing what I'm doing in this aspect of caring and wanting others. Mankind needs good people. The world we live in seems to not make sure or doesn't show that there are good people here. Listen. I still have some things that I have to work on, and I'm not kidding. When I say strengths and I talk about weaknesses, I'm being sincere. But who said you had to fix you in a moment or right away? This is over time, you know, like a journey. But along the journey, are you improving or are you regressing? Do you know you? Tune into the next one that I have for you. But at the same time, subscribe. If you like, press like. I also like for you to know we've been ventured into TikTok, new field, trying to make sure we expand. So Instagram as well. Again, do you know who you are? This is John McNeil. Helping other people evolve is what we do. Tune into the next one. Talk to you later.